Hi everyone!
Hi there!
Today is your day to procrastinate. We said it. You're allowed to. You have our permission.
To procrastinate.
You are permitted to procrastinate. How good does that feel?
Just put it off. Just put it off till later.
So many of you might be feeling an intense sense of anxiety as we say that you're allowed to procrastinate.
Right.
Because we associate procrastination with something very bad.
Right.
Something horrible. If we procrastinate, our world will end.
Fall apart.
Absolutely.
Especially for those of us who are kind of driven and motivated. When we hear that word procrastination, we think it's something we should like.
It's a flaw. It's like a deadly flaw.
It's something wrong with you because why are you putting things off when, don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today or whatever. We have these things about procrastinating and we're here to actually reframe procrastination for you.
Put it in a whole new box.
Whole new box.
Because what we firmly believe is that when you procrastinate, all you're really doing is giving yourself the ability to see when inspiration strikes. Right? So when you do something that's inspired, it's so much better. It turns out so much better no matter what it is. When it's inspired, it turns out better. When you do something because you have to do it, you just get through it and that's it. But we think that it is our job to tell you that it's okay to procrastinate. Let inspiration hit and then do whatever you're inspired to do.
Like the dishes.
Simple.
So I used to live in this apartment downtown with no dishwasher.
Oh no.
And I have 2 kids. So there would be like a giant pile of dishes always in my sink, all the time. And I'd walk by the dishes, and I'd walk by the dishes, and I'd walk by the dishes again. And it was awful, because every time I walked by,
taunts you, right?
I'd feel bad, right? I'd be like, oh, the dishes. But then when I got that spark, I would just get it done. And it'd be done, and it would be no big deal.
It'd be easy.
Right. And so if I had known at that time that it's okay to procrastinate, I wouldn't have spent all that walking by time feeling bad. Yeah. I could have just been like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then I would have got to it and it would have been fine. Yeah. Instead of like, oh, I'm such a failure. Why am I not able to achieve these things? Other people can wash dishes, but I can't. Do you hear the music? That's the universe agreeing.
Decline, whoever you are.
People try to call me, and my computer loves to tell me that, so.
Don't they know?
Don't they know
you're doing something else inspired? You will call them back when inspiration hits, okay?
And I might not call them back. I might procrastinate that.
So here's the trick. If you are procrastinating, but you're in a negative space, then chances are inspiration is not going to hit. Because the prerequisite for inspiration to hit is that you feel good. You feel happy, you feel calm, you feel inspired, and you have an utter faith that everything is working for your benefit. Okay? That sounds hard, but it's not. Because when you practice it, you'll realize that it feels easy to have faith that things are happening for you. And when you allow yourself to feel that way, you will start to see things happening for you. But the first thing you have to do is believe it, right? So you believe it to see it, instead of seeing it to believe it. That's the difference.
That's the hard part. It's kind of like getting on the bus. Okay, so when you get on the bus, you get on the bus. And then you just kind of sit there and pass time until you get to your destination. Do you like go and sit by the driver and watch how he like exactly turns the thing and like, is he pressing the gas or is he... You don't micromanage the bus driver. You just let him get to your destination. You trust him that he's going to get you there. That's kind of like life, right?
Yeah.
It's like you just need to get on the bus. You know what stop you need to get off at. And if you miss your stop, that's okay. You can figure it out. You'll figure something out. But you kind of know where you're going and you just need to get on the bus. And then not be like, oh my gosh, what's happening in the process? Just let it be.
So essentially what we're saying is that you don't have to be the bus driver of your life.
Right.
You can just okay, so I don't know if you believe whatever you believe in, right? Even if you don't believe in anything, that's fine. What we're saying is to give up, basically surrender your need to do every single thing so that your life turns out a certain way to a higher power who is working for you.
Right.
He's not working against you. He's working for you.
Yeah. All the forces in the universe are actually working for you. Do you remember that movie Cinderella when we were kids, the cartoon, the Disney one?
Yeah.
So remember in Cinderella, she wanted a new dress and she she had some old scraps of cloth and then like the birds started helping her and the mice started helping her. Everybody helped her with this dress and they made this new dress and she comes downstairs and she's like, oh, look at my new dress. And then her evil stepsister's like, rip the dress apart. And then she's like heartbroken. And then like a fairy godmother showed up and gave her an even better dress. Yeah. So it's like the universe is working to make her dream come true.
That's so true.
Right? First the animals were trying to help. And when that failed, like some magical being appeared. Yeah. Help, right? So that to me has always been a metaphor of if you have a really true and sincere wish, then forces around you will align to make that wish come true. And if it doesn't work out the way you think it's supposed to, like her first little dress, you know, she thought that was like her big masterpiece because she sewed it herself. And it didn't work out. It actually got destroyed. But then something even more incredible. Remember the gown? That white, like, incredible gown.
Ice blue,
Oh, that she wore, and she danced in it. And,
it was beautiful.
Right, because she had to stop being the bus driver. She had to allow the universe to look after her and drive her bus.
So I think that's an amazing metaphor. I love that. What it boils down to is that when you feel good, you allow good things into your life. When you feel bad, you put up a wall that blocks good things from coming to you. And it's a very basic idea, but it takes a long time. Well, it doesn't actually have to take a long time. It takes a decision to believe it in order for you to start seeing the results.
Right.
Chances are you have a bunch of really amazing things waiting for you. And you've probably had these things waiting for you for years. But your doubt that it's going to happen, your belief that you have to make it happen yourself, your negativity around anything in your life is building a wall between you and all that amazing stuff that is waiting for you.
And sometimes it's fear of change, right?
Yes.
Sometimes even though we're unhappy, we're so comfortable staying where we are rather than taking a risk of stepping into something that's unknown. And so to have that courage and to be that brave, to just, you know, have that there's a possibility that your life could be even better than you ever imagined. Like that the plan that the universe has for you, or God, or this creator, or whatever you understand to be, that love has for you, is much bigger and much better than any plan you could ever make for yourself.
So maybe we can boil this down with some concrete examples. Does anything from your life pop when you think about like the law of attraction? Because this is all based on the law of attraction. And if you want to do some additional research, you can watch The Secret. Now, I have some issues with The Secret, which I'll talk about, because I think that The Secret makes things seem like it's really hard. Like you have to focus only on the things that you want, and you have to constantly think about that car and imagine that you're driving that car, and then eventually that car will come to you. What I believe in, what kind of the Abraham Hicks teachings are, is that you only have to feel good, and then all the things that you want will come to you. Right. So you only have to think about something that makes you feel good. You don't have to think about the car. You can think about your puppy. If your puppy makes you feel good, think about your puppy and you'll get the car.
Right. The idea is, rather than waiting for that thing to make you feel good, you chase the feeling.
Yes.
Right?
So
you chase just the feeling. Good. And you just feel good. And then all of those things will just naturally come to you if you need them, if it's the right thing for you to build the life that you're meant to build. So sometimes what's meant to come to you is very different. So speaking of cars, when I first got married to my husband, he gave me a gift of a car as our wedding present, right? So we have this tradition in our community where on the wedding night, there's a gift that the husband gives to the wife. And so it's usually like some jewelry. So he tells me, he's like, oh, you're going to pick it out. So I'm like ready to go to a jewelry store. And he ends up taking me to the car dealership. And I'm like, what? It's like, your gift is a car. I'm like, ah! So I was looking for a little sports car, right? Like a little like convertible, like fast little car. I was so excited. So I was looking at these convertibles, but I have a short upper body. And so when I sat in the convertibles, I couldn't really like see over the steering wheel.
Oh no.
And I was really small. And I was living in Calgary, which has a lot of snow. And convertible, not really practical.
That really makes sense.
So I had always imagined myself, like success to me would look like driving a convertible and whatever. When I actually sat in the cars, it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend who was driving an SUV. And I moved her car for her. Like I reparked it for her for a party. And I was like, oh, this feels much better. And suddenly we were looking for SUVs. And that car is the same car that now accommodates my children and their strollers and their like all their gear. And we can like drive across the mountains and we have all these great adventures in that car. Good thing I didn't get the convertible.
Exactly.
Right? So sometimes what you think is going to make your life better, there's actually something much better out there that's just waiting to come to you.
Yes. And you can change your thoughts and your beliefs right this very second. Like you can literally say, Jena and Saira, I'm watching you, and I have decided that right now I'm just going to focus on being happy and see what happens. I was entrenched in negativity probably from the time I was 15 until I was 29. And when I was 29, I broke up with my boyfriend. I moved to Vancouver, and I settled into my parents' basement. I lived with them for the first time in like 11 years. I settled into their basement and I told myself, Jena, you are going to be happy and hopeful. And that is your only job. Because right now, that's what you need. You need to be happy. You need to be hopeful. You haven't had that in a long time. So that's what you're going to do. And I did that. And I found I decided I wanted a group of friends. And a week later, I had a group of friends, and I decided, and then I decided, you know, I'm ready for excitement. I want to start dating. And like that week I started dating, and it was just like very easy. And then I met the guy that I am engaged to now. And like, it just happened so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one thing after the other, because my entire focus, it was not on getting ahead in life. It was not on, you know, filling out a checklist of things that I had to do because I was almost 30. Like, it wasn't about any of that. It was just about being happy and feeling hopeful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that changed everything.
Right. And that you can control. Your state, you can control.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things in our life that we cannot control. We cannot control. We cannot control the weather. We cannot control what our, you know, parents and friends and siblings say to us or how they treat us. We cannot control, you know, the postal strike or the transit strike or whatever. We cannot. But we can control our responses. We can control our state. And our task as thinking creators is to start moving towards the life that you really want. How do you do that? Your state. It's about here. It's about how you're feeling. And of course, there's going to be times when you're pissed off. It happens, right? It happens to all of us, and little things can piss us off. But the idea is, when it happens, to catch it and be like, whoa, that's interesting. I just got really angry there, or I just got really frustrated, or I just got really deflated. What's that about? Let me get back to that state of happy, of hopeful, rather than like being mad for like a week.
Yeah, exactly. And when you let yourself get upset one day and dwell on it all day long, the next day it's pretty easy to slip back into that feeling of being upset and being upset and being upset. And before you know it, 3 years have gone by and you're upset. Right?
Yeah.
So what really struck me in all of this work that we've been doing over the past year is the power of now, right? And there's a book about it, which I haven't actually read. But
Power of Now. It's actually called The Power of Now.
It's called The Power of Now.
Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm quoting right now. I'm just saying that what's important is right this very second, because what you're thinking and feeling right now is actually anchoring your future. Mm-hmm. So if you never think about your future, that's fine. Just think about right now, because right now turns into your future, and your future turns into right now. Mm-hmm. So focus only on what's happening for you right this very second. What a relief is that, right? How much of a relief?
It takes the pressure off.
It feels so good.
And remember that who you are today is a result of all of the choices you've made up until today. And today you have an opportunity to make different choices. Yeah. You can make that change. Say, oh, yeah, that might have worked for now. It brought me to where I am, but it no longer serves me, and I'm ready to move forward. And one of the things is letting go of the pressure that we put on ourselves. We put so much pressure on ourselves to like have achieved this, or have these sorts of accolades, or have this sort of a relationship. And it's like, just let's not do that anymore. Let's not do that to ourselves. Let's not do that to each other.
And one thing a trick that you can use is to think about someone that has everything that you want, right? And imagine that that person is only thinking about being happy in this very moment. And it makes it seem a lot closer. Because if you are just thinking about being happy in this very moment, imagine what might happen a year from now. You could be that person, right? Like, you could have those things. But your main focus has to be on being happy right now. And being happy with or without this stuff. So just the idea that stuff is waiting for you, and just that belief and that stringent knowledge that stuff is waiting for you as long as you're happy will make you feel happy. Mm-hmm. So then you close your eyes and you think, oh, this stuff, like, it's here. I'm in my dream house. I'm doing my dream career, and it's all here. And then you open your eyes and no, you don't have that stuff, but you feel the feeling. Mm-hmm. And the feeling is what you're chasing.
That's the point. And I had a really important thought, and it's totally gone.
Oh no.
It'll totally come back.
It'll come when inspiration
in the
strikes.
moment. Oh yeah, this is what the thought was: inspiration and happiness and procrastination. So these things are linked, right? The procrastination piece and the happiness piece are linked, and we want to explain to you how. Do you want to explain?
Oh,
like
I was waiting for the point.
Well, I can say it too, but
okay.
You know, we've been talking about it, so
okay,
let's talk more.
Okay, yeah, procrastination and happiness.
Yeah,
and they're linked.
They're linked.
Inspiration.
How?
Yes. So
break down.
Okay, so and this is on our Facebook Live. You should actually also watch that. When you procrastinate, you could be doing a variety of things. And let's say you're doing something like playing video games, or you're on social media, and as you're procrastinating, you're looking at other people's lives and you're feeling worse and worse and worse and worse and worse about yourself. You're putting yourself in this state where you're comparing yourself to all of these people that have all these amazing things. Of course, because look, the pictures are on Facebook. It must be true, right? They must be so happy. And you're feeling bad about yourself. Mm-hmm. That will lead you down a certain path. Now say you're looking at Facebook and you're seeing all these wonderful things that people are doing and you're saying, wow, that's so amazing. I'm so happy for them. And I'm so happy for myself because of whatever. And you're putting yourself in that state of utter happiness, right? That will cause you to, at a certain point, when you're in that state for long enough, feel inspired to do something that will bring you to that place that you've really been wanting to go. And it will feel easy and it will feel safe and it will feel fun because you've waited for the inspiration to hit. And in the meantime, you've only focused on being happy. Is that the point?
Exactly. Okay. And one of the things, if you can't feel happy, because I know sometimes if you're looking at your life and you look around and think, there isn't really much to be happy about. If that's where you are, then start with gratitude. Start with something that you're grateful for, right? It could be something as simple as, I have running water. I have electricity, like the basics. Go really down to the basics. I have, one person in the world who actually loves me and cares for me, whatever it is. Because once you start seeing what you already have that's good, that starts to bring those emotions of gratitude and happiness, and it all starts building. But I know it can be hard when you're in the funk where you just don't even know how to get to happy. Start with gratitude.
Yeah, start with gratitude and understand that your life can change in an instant. Your reality that you see around you, like Saira was saying before, it's a buildup of all the things that you've been thinking in the past. So just think right now, if you change your thoughts, imagine a week from now, things could be completely different.
And it does work. And we challenge you to actually test it and then comment. Leave us a comment about how it worked for you.
And if you're testing it with like this idea that, I'm just going to prove them wrong, then you probably are just going to prove
If you're going to be like,
right?
Yeah, I want $10 million and look, I clearly didn't get it. Well, yeah. Okay, fine. You were right. You were right that you thought we were wrong. You were right. But the idea is if you actually want change, pick something manageable. Pick a target. Pick something like, I want one thing that I think, I don't know if it's in their book, The Law of Attraction, but it's somewhere of one of their writings that I read, Abraham Hicks' writings, where pick something simple like a flower. I want to see flowers this week. Right? And so you might see flowers like, as you're walking on the sidewalk, somebody may bring you a flower. You might see flowers in an ad on social media, like somewhere, the universe will show you flowers, and you can kind of test it. You can do it in these small little, really reasonable tests, and you'll start seeing that when you ask for something, because what happens is the brain also gets primed to look for certain things, right? And so where you might have missed that flower before, now because you're looking for it, you'll see it.
And pick something that you have no resistance towards.
Right.
So if you're thinking, I want to make $500 more this week than I did last week, and you have a little bit of resistance about money and about your ability to make money, you will not make that money. You need to pick something that you have no resistance to, because the point is that when you're feeling really good, you're attracting really good things. And when you're thinking specifically about something that you have no resistance to, you will bring that into your consciousness. If you have resistance around other things, start small. Start with the stuff you have no resistance to. Build up the habit of feeling happy all the time, and you'll start to see your resistances melt away to the things that are really important to you.
Exactly. So what we're trying to say about procrastination is that it's a sign that the inspiration isn't here yet, and that's okay. We can't all be creating and doing and productive 24 hours, right? Or even the however many hours that we're awake. It's not realistic, and it doesn't have to be that hard either. It doesn't have to be like, okay, we're going, what's the next one? It could just be relaxing, and sometimes you need to just zone out and let the mind kind of make the connections. It's like puzzles, right? So my kids love puzzles. So they'll start a puzzle, and they'll do a few pieces, and they'll walk away. And then when they come back, it's so cool because it's like they've walked away from it, they've come back, and they just know where the pieces go, and then they walk away again. And then
they're listening to their intuition.
Right, and when they come back, it's like they see things that they haven't seen before. And so when you're procrastinating, it's your way of just walking away for a few minutes or a couple of days or whatever, and then you come back. Right? It gives your mind that space to be creative.
Yes. I was telling Dr. Saira that I'm taking a whole new approach to writing. I used to really force myself to sit down and write, and I'd find that I'd just be drowning in all of these things that stopped making sense to me after a while. And so now what I do is I just do whatever makes me feel good. And then sometimes a thought will strike, and I'll open up my computer and I'll write down a few sentences or a few paragraphs or even a few pages. And then when I stop feeling inspired, I close my computer and I go back to whatever I was doing. And I keep doing that throughout the day. And I'm finding that I'm getting so much further because I'm not forcing myself.
Right.
I'm just doing it when I'm inspired to, and that's going to create a much better result.
Right. And we force ourselves when we say, I have to write, this many articles, or I have to get my book done by, 2018. And we have these strict timelines. And if you think about why we have these timelines is what we talked about before, is that we feel like we need to be productive and we need to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And these timelines will prove to ourselves that we're productive and successful. So if I want to feel successful, why not just act like I'm successful now?
Yes.
Why not go for the state rather than the thing?
Yeah. And so here's a challenge. As you're doing your, like, thinking about flowers and bringing flowers into your life, what I want you to also do is focus every moment of the day for at least a day. I would try for the whole week on just doing and thinking whatever makes you feel really happy. And when that thought creeps in about the bills or about the debt or about the horrible relationship or about your mother or your stepmother or your mother-in-law or your, whatever, when the thought creeps in about something that makes you feel not happy, then I want you to say to yourself, I don't need to think about this right now. Mm-hmm. Jenna told me and Dr. Saira told me that I need to be happy this week, so I'm going to push this thought aside. It doesn't need to be thought about right this very second, and I'm going to focus on what makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. And, sometimes there will be setbacks, because setbacks are natural, and it's an opportunity to grow. And just like Cinderella's first dress was ripped apart, but she still wanted to go to the ball, right? You don't give up your dream just because you have a setback. You say, okay, that didn't really work exactly how I thought it would, and now I'm going to leave it really to the universe and see what's going to come, what's going to be natural and easy and make me feel like, a princess.
Yeah, do things that are natural and easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So simple, right?
So simple. That's
no
it.
Big deal.
That's it. Procrastinate, because it's natural and easy. Oh, here's the thing that you were mentioning before. While you're procrastinating, your task is to make sure that you maintain that state of happiness. You can't procrastinate and feel bad about yourself.
No.
Because then that's what you've been doing already. That's what we all do.
That's going to draw up negatives. So, like, you're going to be putting up walls between you and all the great stuff that's waiting for you.
Right.
But procrastinate in a positive way. Procrastinate while feeling happy. Do whatever makes you feel good. Mm-hmm. For me, last night, the whole day I was thinking, I'm just going to feel really good. So I was watching my videos, and around 8 o'clock I started to watch TV, and then I was like, a piece of chocolate would really make me feel good right now. So I went and had some chocolate, and then I went to the gym, and I just did things that made me feel really, really good.
Mm-hmm. And when it's not making you feel good. When you have that 8th chocolate bar, right? You're like, okay, the first couple bites of chocolate made me feel good, but this 8th one, chocolate bar, is kind of making me feel guilty. Yeah, put it down, my friend. Put it down. And so, because the mind is like, oh yeah, it'll make you feel good. It'll make you feel good. And really, it's a trap, because you're going to just feel bad, right? So sometimes I think we, for me anyway, I push away against just do what makes you feel good. So I'm like, oh my God, then I'll eat 5 chocolate cakes and I'll never leave the house. But that's not true, because that doesn't actually make me feel good when I actually check in with myself. Is this really making me feel good? No, it doesn't.
And then there's also that belief that we have that a certain amount of chocolate is going to make us gain weight or whatever.
Or zits or whatever.
If you can focus on just feeling good, and the guilt is the killer, because guilt will tell you that what you're doing is wrong. Mm-hmm. When you feel guilty, that's a sure sign that you need to check in with your emotions. It's not really about the chocolate. You can eat a million. You probably know people that eat tons and tons and tons of food and they stay skinny. Mm-hmm. They have an inherent belief that the food doesn't affect them, that they have a fast metabolism, that nothing can harm them, that their body is protected, and it shows up in their life. Right? So that's something also to work on.
And it's incredible, the beliefs that we have and how powerful those beliefs are. They show up in our everyday life. And so, for a long time, I hid behind this, this lie that I told myself, oh, nobody knows I'm unhappy. But my life demonstrated how unhappy I was. And so even though I had this fake smile on my face, my life was demonstrating my unhappiness, right? So the mask didn't really work. And so when I started trying to be more authentic and trying to be more okay, my outside life has to match my inside life. My inside life is miserable, then clearly my outside life is showing that to everyone. Mm-hmm. Let me start changing my state. And it's day and night. It feels miraculous to me. It feels like magic to me that in an instant, my life changed.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's so powerful. And correct me if I'm wrong, but when you were feeling that misery and when you were feeling that unhappiness, it shows up as negative thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. Judging yourself, comparing yourself to others, just generally being down on yourself, being unkind to yourself. Mm-hmm. And when you switch that to happiness, that shows up as believing the best in people, believing the best in yourself, seeing the good in every situation, feeling confident and comfortable and at ease. And when you don't feel confident and comfortable and at ease, you tell yourself, I feel good. I feel fine. I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm better than okay. I'm good. I'm actually good. I'm great. Like, you build yourself up in your mind, and it only takes a minute. It really
and sometimes
takes a minute.
sometimes it's an indicator, right? So sometimes when I'm feeling really bad, it's because like I actually need to not be here right now. This is an unsafe situation for me. And so you get more in tune with your own gut feeling and your own gut knowing when you put away that guilt and you put away that bad feeling. It's like I've had a situation where I've actually like bypassed accidents. Like 2 cars ahead of me, there'll be an accident, but it could have been my car if I'd left just a little bit earlier from the house, right? Like this happens to me constantly where I just like, it's just life reminding me that just stay in the flow because, we're protecting you. And I'm like, so if I was beating myself up for being late, but meanwhile being late is what saved my life.
Exactly.
Right? So we just have to and the universe is always giving us those indicators. So just watch for them.
Yeah. Listen to that gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
cool. That was a lot. So now you get to procrastinate and enjoy it while you're doing it.
Feel really good every moment of the day.
And if you know someone in your life who's feeling guilty a lot and feeling like they're wasting their life or they're wasting their time, or send this video to them because it could really help. Check out our Facebook Live.
Yeah, it was so much fun today.
So fun.
We thought it was 9 minutes long, but it was 20, so you get an extra 11 minutes.
We totally stepped into the vortex and lost all track of time. So you'll actually see us at 9 minutes be like, oh, that was only 3 minutes. And on this, we're totally out of time.
I know.
Time. So flexible.
So please subscribe, share, comment, send us emails, check out our websites. Just get in touch with us. If you have any questions about today's, I know it's a bit of a difficult concept to get your mind around, especially if it's the first time you're hearing of it. So if you have questions, let us know. We will be happy to answer them.
And if this is the first time you're seeing us, check out our other episodes. We've got lots of other episodes on our channel. Today is your day. So check it out and let us know what you think. And we would love topics. So if there's particular topics that are important to you that you want us to talk about, send us a message.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.